one thing I can say. I'm thankful for my parents.
Yes, yes, yes. So let me ask you this. So, and then when did they tell you that you were adopted?
That I'm sorry. That's really hard because my dad is 92, and till this day, he's never said you're adopted. He's never said those words to me. But my mom told me when I was about 20, 21, I was married. I was out the house. I never knew I was adopted until I was an adult with children.
So you were loved.
Never
You
had a
never
clue.
felt it, and you felt love. They made you feel like you were their very own, and so that's good. So if there's someone who
Yeah.
goes back and plays this, and they feel like they're missing something because they're being raised by adoptive family, you are one that can tell them it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because
Mm-mm.
it's all about how they make you feel. We can't get
Mm-hmm.
stuck. You can't get stuck in wondering what happened or feeling guilty about what happened. And did you go through that?
Yeah.
You said that's a rough one for you, and I definitely want you to be able to hear some other people, but I don't want to. This is unscripted, so if I go in an area
Mm-hmm.
that's touchy and sentimental, and you don't want me to go there, just tell me. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
tell me, Crystal, I don't really want to touch on that because that's hard, or that's rough.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that I admire your strength because having to
Thank
lose a
you.
parent and then having a stroke at 9. I mean, did you know you were having a stroke? How did that happen?
So when I was about 4, I had rheumatic fever. Some of you guys probably don't even know what that is, but
What?
it's a really, really high fever where you basically could die. And my temperature was so high that back in the day, don't come for me, but back in the day, the thermometers were mercury.
Yes, 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 yes.
And I guess my temperature was so high that it broke the thermometer. And they
Wow.
had to put me in a tub of ice because my temperature was that high that I lost every piece of hair on my body from toes to my head.
Wow.
And I remember at 5 years old going to school with a wig on because I didn't have any hair. I had an afro. So going through the rheumatic fever, um, was traumatizing as a child.
Yes,
I'm 5 years old going to school. I don't know I have a wig on, until the other kids tell me, because at 4, you're with your parents. You don't know.
that's right.
So when I got about 9 years old, I remember having to take medicine. I'm like, why do I have to take medicine? And it was like, because you have a heart murmur and that, this medicine is going to help you. So I'm like, well, I hope I don't have to do this forever. And they was like, well, you might grow out of it. You might not. So one day I was getting up, getting ready to go to school, and I just felt strange. And I told my mom, and she said, come here. And when I went to her, she was like, oh, my God. She rushed me to the hospital. And I had a stroke. Like, I literally, my face was twisted, everything. Like, I had a stroke. And the doctor said that, that's part of the rheumatic fever.